They say time is a great healer. It's a lie. Time doesn't heal, it just teaches you how to build thicker walls. You learn to muffle the screams inside until they become a low hum in the background of your life. You walk through the fire so many times that the heat starts to feel familiar, almost like home. The first real lesson you learn is that no one is coming to save you. You either crawl through the embers on your own or you burn. I chose to crawl. I stopped looking for a helping hand a long time ago and started forging my own weapons instead. Claws sharp enough to tear through hollow promises and fake smiles. I've been betrayed more times than I have fingers to count on, greeted with grins that hid daggers. I've watched people I would have died for walk away without a backward glance. And the craziest part? I was still standing there, breathing, bleeding, watching them go while the silence they left behind was louder than any of their lies. People mistake strength for loudness, for muscle. They're wrong. True strength is carrying the weight of your own coffin every single day and daring the world to try and bury you in it. It's the discipline to not react when your name is dragged through the mud, when your heart is shattered on the floor. You grit your teeth and move forward with a quiet intensity, like you have a debt to collect from the devil himself. That's real power. I learned it the hard way. No one respects a kind heart until it turns cold. No one values your loyalty until you've revoked their access. They only understand your worth in the echo of your absence. But this coldness isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of a dangerous new awakening, one born from the ashes of everything I used to be. This isn't bitterness. Don't confuse the two. Bitterness is a poison that comes from weakness. What I have is a clarity that comes from survival. When you've tasted betrayal from the very people you shielded from the storm, when you've been shattered after giving every piece of yourself, that's not bitterness, it's an awakening. It's the moment you stop crying for the people who left you and start building a fortress for yourself. Silence became my only answer. Pain became my most effective teacher, and solitude became my greatest source of power. They look at me and think I'm lonely. They don't understand. I'm not lonely. I'm focused. I've surgically removed the distractions that were disguised as love. I've cut ties with people who only knew my name when it was convenient for them. I became allergic to inconsistency. Now I can feel the falseness in a handshake, the emptiness behind a smile. Energy doesn't lie. People do. They say feeling too much is a weakness, that loving too deeply is a flaw. No, that's the curse of the warrior. We fight the hardest battles for the very people who push us into the war zone. We bleed the most for those who wouldn't even acknowledge our wounds. But that cycle is over now. My empathy has its limits. My kindness comes with conditions. My peace has a non-negotiable price. You can't sit at my table unless you've earned your scars. If you've never been broken, you don't speak my language. You can't understand the grammar of my grief. I used to wait for apologies that never came, but now I move in a silence so profound it has become my most powerful weapon. I used to wait for closure, for apologies, for people to have a sudden realization of what they lost. I don't wait anymore. I move in silence. If you lost me, you didn't just lose a person, you lost an unshakable loyalty. You lost a heart that would have gone to war for you without a second thought. You lost something irreplaceable. And that is your burden to carry, not mine. My silence is where the real transformation happened. That's where I became dangerous, not angry, not emotional, but fiercely focused. I found a strange peace within the fire and a piercing clarity in the heart of chaos. I don't seek revenge anymore. I let karma do its work, and I've learned to be patient. I don't need to raise my voice. My presence speaks for itself. My absence is a lesson they won't forget. I've realized the strongest people are often the most alone. It's not by choice, but by consequence. They see too deeply, feel too intensely, give too much, and expect far too little in return. They are the ones who wipe their own tears in the dark and still manage to face the world with a smile. They are the ones who would save everyone else but are left to drown in their own silence, unnoticed. This solitude isn't a prison, it's the forge where legends are born, and I am being remade into something they will never see coming. They see the strength, the calm control, but they don't see the internal war that built it. They don't see the countless nights spent staring at the ceiling, questioning why I had to survive storms that were meant to destroy me. They don't hear the internal screaming that happens when you realize the people you would have died for didn't even flinch while watching you drown. That specific kind of pain doesn't weaken you. It transmutes you. It turns you into something else entirely, something sharper, unrecognizable from what you were before. You stop begging to be understood. You stop bleeding for people who never even learned how to be a tourniquet. You stop showing up for people who don't even notice you're gone. That's when the fundamental shift occurs. You transition from being a man who offered love to a man who now gives lessons, not out of cruelty, but out of a hard-won clarity. There is an immense power in isolation. When the world's noise fades, you finally start to hear the truth from within. You realize that what you were chasing was never real. The love you fought for was just convenience wrapped in manipulation. The friend you would have killed for was just a shadow that vanished the moment your light flickered. As every fake soul fell away, I didn't chase or beg. I simply let them go, and in that release, I discovered a terrifying new freedom. I watched every inauthentic person fall away when I went quiet and stopped chasing. I didn't ask why. I didn't beg them to stay. The truth is, I was never hard to love. They were just too shallow to handle my depth. They wanted easy, surface-level connections. I gave them my soul. And they gave me their absence. Good. Now they watch from a distance, observing the version of me they helped create. The one who stopped explaining, stopped forgiving, stop showing up. Let me tell you about being alone. This is where legends are forged. This is where real character is built. Anybody can smile in a crowd. Anybody can act tough when they have backup. But can you sit alone with your demons? Can you face your regrets in the quiet? Can you withstand the silence that echoes with the memory of every time you were left behind? If you can rise from that, you are no longer just human. You become a force of nature, a storm. And storms don't explain their purpose. They arrive, they reshape the landscape, and they leave everything fundamentally different. That is who I had to become. I had to burn away my own softness to survive in a world that devours the gentle. And from those flames, a new, unbreakable skin was forged. That's who I am now. Not because I wanted to be, but because the world has no respect for softness, it consumes it. So I set my own gentleness on fire and forged a new skin from the ashes. Now I don't speak much. I observe. I act. I let the silence do the talking, and trust me, silence speaks volumes more than love ever did. People look at me and say I've changed. Damn right I have. I evolved. I shed skin after skin, pain after pain. I rebuilt myself from nothing, so many times that I started to find comfort in the smell of smoke. I don't trust easily anymore. I don't grant access to people who haven't proven their worth through their own scars. My circle is tiny now, almost a dot. And I prefer it that way. No snakes, no liars, no emotional vampires. Just me, focused, hungry, dangerous. I don't care about status or validation. I don't want a love that's conditional. Give me unwavering loyalty or get out of my way. Give me something real, or save us both the time and stay silent. Every door slammed in my face became a brick for the castle I'm building alone. And its walls are high enough to keep out the doubt that once fueled me. If you ever doubted me, good. Your doubt was the foundation. Your disrespect was the fuel. Every door slammed in my face just provided me with another brick to build my own damn empire. Don't mistake my silence for weakness. Don't for a second believe that my calm demeanor means I've forgotten. I remember everything. Every insult carefully disguised as a joke. Every promise that turned to dust. Every time I was left alone on the battlefield. I remember it all. I just don't react the same way anymore. I let time expose the truths my words never could. I let karma finish the conversations I wisely walked away from. And that right there is the real power. It's the strength to walk away when you have every right to destroy someone. It's choosing your own peace when you have more than earned the right to revenge. That's a level of strength they will never comprehend. It takes a real warrior to carry a righteous rage and choose not to use it. I could have burned it all down, but I chose a more disciplined path. To build in silence, to build in pain, to turn my very wounds into weapons. I could have burned everything to the ground. I had the matches. I had the fuel. But I chose to build instead. To build in silence. To build through the pain. To practice the kind of discipline that transforms open wounds into unbreakable armor. I don't need crowds cheering me on. I don't need followers. I walk alone because it's my nature. I was built differently, wired for solitude, forged in the heart of storms. And while they laugh, while they gossip, while they waste their time trying to figure me out, I'm moving. While they sleep, I'm building. While they're distracted, I'm evolving. Let them talk. Let them doubt. Let them pretend they're ahead in a race I'm not even running. Time will reveal everything. And when it does, they should not call me. They should not come back. They should not pretend they ever believed in me. I'm not bitter. I'm just not naive anymore. I gave too much. I loved too hard. I forgave too quickly. That version of me is gone. He died in the fire. What you see now is what emerged from the ashes. The world doesn't give trophies for survival, but I don't need one. My very existence is the proof that you can rise from total ruin, colder and smarter than ever before. I am the living proof. The proof that even after the deepest betrayal, the most shattering heartbreak, the deafening silence, and the cruelest abandonment, you can still rise. Stronger, colder, smarter. Alone but categorically unbroken. That's what makes me different. That's why they whisper when I enter a room. They sense that I was forged in a furnace they couldn't survive for a single day. They don't get it. They think solitude means you're broken. No. My solitude means I'm free. Free from the burden of fake love. Free from expectations I never signed up for. Free from carrying people who never had the strength to walk on their own 2 feet. I stopped showing up where I wasn't valued. I stopped over-explaining myself to people who were perpetually ungrateful. And most importantly, I stopped breaking myself into tiny pieces just to make others feel whole. That kind of self-betrayal is a quiet, whispering pain that doesn't scream. It eats away at you until one day you simply disappear into a cold, unreachable silence. You know how painful that is? To watch yourself crumble piece by piece just so someone else can stand a little taller beside you? That's a pain that doesn't scream, it whispers. It gnaws at your core until one day you snap. Not loudly, not violently, you just go. You become silent, cold, unreachable. That's the space I inhabit now. It's a place of quiet distance where nothing and no one can touch me unless I explicitly allow it. And I don't allow much anymore, because I reframed every experience. Every betrayal was a brutal but effective teacher. Every heartbreak was a necessary chapter. Every time someone walked away, I got better. Not bitter. Better. I upgraded. I cut the dead weight. I stopped giving out first chances, let alone second ones. I observed how people acted when I had nothing to offer, when I was struggling behind a forced smile. And what did I find? I discovered that most people love you only until it becomes inconvenient, until your pain infringes on their comfort, and that's the moment their true seasonal nature is revealed. I found that most people's love has an expiration date, the moment your pain becomes an inconvenience to their comfort. That's when they bounce. That's when the masks slip off and you see them for what they truly are. Seasonal, not solid. Temporary, not permanent. Once you learn that lesson, you stop begging people to stay. You just hold the door open wider and let them leave faster. I stopped making myself available for the emotionally draining, the perpetually confused, the terminally selfish. I don't answer every call. I don't reply to every message. I don't entertain people who see me as replaceable. The truth is, I am rare. And that's not ego talking. That's a statistical fact. People who remain loyal even after betrayal, who keep a soft heart even after it's been broken, who stay real in a world of fakes, that's rare. And rare things are taken for granted when they're too available. So, I made myself scarce. I made myself expensive. I made myself the kind of man you don't just get. You have to earn. And the currency to earn me is loyalty. The one thing that seems to be bankrupt in this world, a truth I learned through countless storms ridden alone. Let me tell you about loyalty. It's the last real currency in this world, and it's gone bankrupt everywhere you look. People will stand with you when you're winning, but vanish the second you stumble. That's not loyalty, that's convenience. The real ones, they ride with you through the storm. They aren't afraid to get bloody. They don't flinch when the whole world turns its back. But how many of those have I actually met? A handful, maybe. Perhaps none. That's why I don't complain about being alone anymore. That's why I don't crave company. I'd rather walk my path alone in truth than dance in a crowd full of snakes in disguise. I've become addicted to the silence because silence was the only thing that showed me who I really am. It stripped everything else away, the lies, the noise, the people who only pretended. And what was left standing? A man made of fire and pure grit. A man who doesn't fold under pressure, doesn't beg for attention, doesn't chase what doesn't want to stay. This isn't emotional numbness, it's a hard-earned mastery over pain. A state of being where you become bulletproof because you've already survived the worst. A man who can stare directly into the eyes of pain and not blink. That's not numbness, that's mastery. That's what happens when you've bled enough. You become bulletproof. You stop fearing heartbreak because you've already survived a version of it that should have killed you. You stop fearing loss because you've already lost everything that ever mattered and you're still breathing. That's where I live now, on the far side of fear, on the other side of reactive emotion. I don't react, I calculate. I don't trust blindly, I observe. I let people reveal their true character over time. And when they do, I believe them the first time. The strongest are always alone. Not by desire, but because the world is too fragile for their kind of unvarnished truth. We don't fit into neat boxes. We don't blend into the background. We stand out, not for attention, but for the fire in our eyes, for the demons we've learned to dance with, for the weight of the pain we carry. Have you ever seen a man who has nothing left to lose? That's me. And that state is the most terrifying form of freedom and danger imaginable. You ever seen a man with absolutely nothing left to lose? That's me. And that is the purest form of freedom. It's also dangerous, because I'm not afraid to start over from scratch. I'm not afraid to lose people who were never truly mine. I'm not afraid to sever ties that are choking the life out of me. And most of all, I'm not afraid to be misunderstood. Let them talk. Let them twist the narrative to fit their own guilt. I know the truth, and that is the only thing that matters. I don't play mind games anymore. I don't entertain drama or chaos. I don't waste my energy explaining myself to people who are determined to misunderstand me. My energy is sacred now. My time is more valuable than gold. And if you want a place in my space, you better come correct, because the man I was before is gone. He was buried under layers of betrayal, pain, and a silence that taught him everything. What rose from that grave is something else entirely, something colder, wiser, and completely unflinching, even as the world burns around it. What's left is a different entity. Something colder, infinitely wiser, something that doesn't even blink at the sight of the world burning. Because I've already been burned alive, and I walked out of my own ashes with a smile on my face. They keep asking, why are you so distant now? As if they don't vividly remember the moments they taught me to stop reaching out. As if they forgot how they left me hanging when my world was collapsing. Let me be clear about why I'm distant. I learned the hard way that people don't value presence. They only value absence. As long as you are always there, always available, always giving, they will take you for granted. But the moment you go quiet, the moment you pull back, the moment you stop the flow of your energy, that's when the questions start. That's when the hollow apologies trickle in. Not because they miss you, but because they hate losing access to someone who made them feel important. It was never me they missed. It was the way I made them feel. A realization that forced me to guard my heart with an armor they can no longer penetrate. It wasn't me they loved. It was the way I loved them. And I'm no longer in the business of giving that energy away. I don't love the way I used to. Not because my heart is dead, but because it's now guarded by a fortress. It's been through too many wars. I used to believe that if you just loved people harder, they would never leave. I was wrong. Love doesn't prevent betrayal. Kindness doesn't stop disrespect. Loyalty doesn't shield you from abandonment. All it does is make you the perfect target for those who have no idea how to love in return. Once that truth clicks into place, something inside you shifts permanently. You stop trying to heal broken people and start focusing on protecting your own sanity. That's where I am now. And if they call that cold, so be it. Warmth they took for granted is gone. Extinct. People romanticize healing, but no one tells you it's a brutal, lonely war fought in silence. A war I had to win because staying broken was never an option. People love to talk about healing like it's a beautiful journey of self-discovery. It's not. It's brutal. It's lonely. It's crying at 3 a.m. with no one there to hear you. It's waking up with a heart so heavy you feel it could sink a ship, and still forcing yourself to stand up and face the day. Healing is a war. A silent internal war where every step forward feels like dragging your body through shattered glass. But you keep going. Not because it's easy or rewarding, but because the alternative, staying broken, is unacceptable. I didn't come this far to only come this far. Let me be loud and clear. I don't want people in my life who only check in when the mood strikes them. I have no room for half-love, part-time loyalty, or temporary commitment. If you can't match the energy I bring, do us both a favor and stay away. I've been the only one carrying the weight of too many relationships. I've been the only one trying, the only one showing up. That version of me is retired. He is dead and buried. I have a new blueprint for my life now, and it has zero tolerance for chaos, confusion, or emotional debt, no matter who you are. I've built myself back up in silence, brick by brick. While everyone assumed I was falling apart, I was taking every insult, every betrayal, every backstab, and using them as fuel for my rebirth. People have no idea the kind of controlled rage it takes to rebuild yourself while pretending to the world that you're okay. They don't see the internal screams you swallow just to make it through the day. They don't see the moments you stare at your own reflection, wondering how you're still standing. But here's the truth. I'm still standing because quitting is not in my DNA. Folding is not part of my nature. You don't survive this level of pain unless there is something primal inside you, something that absolutely refuses to die, something that fights back even when it has no strength left. So yes, I am alone, but I am solid. I don't second-guess my decisions anymore. I don't look for external approval. I don't search for a place to belong. I am the storm I needed to survive. I am the protector I never had. I am the loyalty I used to beg for from others. I am not looking to be saved anymore. I have become the savior of my own soul, and that self-reliance is what truly terrifies them. I'm not looking for a savior. I am the savior now of my own sanity, of my own peace, and that self-sufficiency is what scares them the most. They used to control me with guilt, with emotional manipulation, with their own silence. But now I am the master of the silence. I have weaponized it. I have turned it into my impenetrable armor. And when I go quiet now, it's not a sign of weakness. It's because I am in a state of deep calculation, watching, deciding who is worth a single word and who isn't worth a single glance. I am done explaining myself. I am done defending my boundaries. I am done making excuses for people who consistently failed me. You either come into my life with genuine intentions, or you don't come at all. I was never hard to love. I was just too easy to use. And now I am the man they warned you about. The man who loves with clear boundaries, who gives with discernment, who trusts with the precision of a sniper, slow, calculated, and only once. If that trust is broken, there are no repairs, no second chances. Just a final, deafening silence that marks the end. A space where only the truly strong can reside. If you break that trust, it's over. No repairs, no glue, just an eternal and absolute silence. That's the territory where the real ones live. In that sacred, solitary space where the strongest always find themselves. Not because they desire loneliness, but because it's the only place that doesn't lie to them, doesn't use them, doesn't break them. It just holds them quietly and powerfully. And I would rather stay in that truthful silence forever than ever go back to the noise of fake connections. They always said I was too intense. I'm just real. That's what unsettles them. My intensity is simply the absence of games. It's the lack of lies and small talk. It's the raw, unfiltered truth I carry inside me, and most people can't handle that kind of exposure. They are used to surfaces, to empty promises, to connections that require no depth. So when someone like me comes along, someone who sees straight through the masks, it terrifies them. You can't sell illusions to a man who has already lived through his worst nightmares. I became a mirror, and they couldn't stand the reflection staring back at them. And so I walk on, alone, not by chance but by choice, a silent storm that reshaped its own world, forever marked by the fire but no longer defined by the burn.